Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers across the World Wide Web. This is Tune 215. And right now we're in the state of California. We're in the city of Los Angeles. We're going to be doing a short driving tour of a neighborhood called Skid Row here in Los Angeles, California. It's currently 68 degrees. The sun just went down. Sun is setting. It's a little after 7 p.m. We're passing town. We're on 5th and Town with an E at the end. I'm going to pull over because we have a BMW behind us traveling at a higher speed than I want to go. We have tents along the left-hand side and along the right-hand side. All along these little side blocks, there's tents and encampment housing. We're approaching San Pedro Street. You have tents all along the sidewalk. You have homemade tents with tarps, cardboard, boxes, household objects. Then you have actual purchase tents, like sporting good tents, tents used for camping. We have people congregating on the corners, on my left, on my right, on all four corners. They're playing music. There's a table out there. It looks like they're giving away food. We're on the intersection of 5th and San Pedro. I'm going to continue to travel forward. The truck went around me, almost hit that guy. I was going slow, so I was going to let him cross, but that truck went right around us. You have people lining the streets on both sides of the street. Passing San Julian Street. We're going to make this right-hand turn on Wall Street. Turning right on Wall Street. And as you can see, even on Wall Street, we have tents on both sides of the street. Left-hand side, right-hand side. You have a sofa on the right-hand side where people are chilling, hanging out at. Somebody was sweeping right next to the sofa. Let's make this right-hand turn on Winston. The primary color you see with those homemade tents is blue, because they get one of those blue tarps from Home Depot or any hardware store. They're relatively cheap. Look at this, somebody spray painting on my left. Since, that's what he wrote. Since, S-I-N-C-E, since. I wonder if that's his name, if that's what he writes. Since, like, you know, since 1988. Since. We're on San Pedro Street. We had a huge tent over here on my left, gigantic tent. We're gonna allow these pedestrians to cross. Pedestrians have the right of way. We're at San Pedro, 400 block of San Pedro, Winston and San Pedro. I'm going to make this left-hand turn. We're going to turn left on San Pedro. We have the electric building on my right-hand side, Silk Plantation Corp on my left-hand side. We're approaching 4th Street. 4th Street is one of the borders. The next neighborhood in front of us is Little Tokyo. We got ABC wholesale bags directly in front of us. Dispensary supplies. You can visit www.packagingmj.com. How creative, huh, MJ? We're in the downtown industrial district. Skid Row has been plagued with homelessness for several plus decades. We're passing Omar. And as you can see, it spans more than a handful of blocks. It's actually like 2-3 dozen blocks. Let's make this right on Crocker Street, 400 block of Crocker Street. Got somebody driving by on an e-scooter with a Gucci jacket. We're traveling about 10 miles an hour. Got all sorts of pedestrians straddling on the left and on the side. Somebody pushing a shopping cart. Somebody with a Dodgers shirt riding around with a box. We're approaching 5th Street again, which is one of the central streets where the epidemic is taking place at. I'm going to roll down the window so you guys can hear some of the ambience. We got the 18 bus passing us. I'm going to cross over 5th Street. A lot of people with brooms, I'll tell you that much. Considering that they're living on the streets, at least they're sweeping it up, you know what I mean? Trying to keep the place a little bit maintained. We're at 6th Street. I'm going to make this left-hand turn on 6th Street. I'm going to cautiously enter 6th Street. Got to be careful with traffic. We got tents all along my left-hand side. We got the Pacific Fresh Fish Company on my right-hand side. I'm going to make this left on Town Ave. Had a young female crossing the street. She had a bottle of what looked to be like shampoo and or conditioner in her hand as she was crossing the street. We're at 6th and Town. Town with an E at the end. I'm gonna make this left hand turn. That's the female with the shampoo in her hand. At the end of this picture, you'll see the mountains. You see that dark shadow at the end of the picture? That's the mountain. You got a bus on my right with graffiti on it. You got a cat on my left. You got one of those needle boxes on my left. Wow. First needle box I've seen here. They have a needle box here. That's amazing, huh? I didn't know they had a needle box here. For those of you who don't know what a needle box is for you to dispose of your sharp objects, such as needles. Got a lot of nice murals along the side. Nice artwork. Let's make this right-hand turn. We're on Town Ave. .400 block of Town, 4th and Town. I'm gonna make this right-hand turn. No sign telling us otherwise. We got the Los Angeles Cold Storage Company directly in front of us on our left-hand side. We're gonna make a right on Central Ave. Let's make this right on red. There's no sign telling us otherwise. Got a nice rig on my left. You see that truck? That 18-wheeler? That was a nice looking rig. I'm going to make this right-hand turn on Gladys Ave. Wow. So she was smoking a pipe. I saw some lady in the tent. She was smoking a crack pipe. All right, we're passing 5th Street. Is this 5th? No. Yeah, this is 5th. Wow, it didn't even look like 5th. They got generators on my right, y'all. Oh, snap. Generators on my left. Yo, they leveled up here. They moving on up to 5th Street on Skid Row. Yo, they moving up. Look at they tow somebody's whip. They have generators on, bro. You know what that means? They got radios, they got TV. They got, look at this, on my right, they cooking out. Bro, listen, let's talk about, there's levels to this homelessness stuff. And LA is above and beyond because I was blown away a year ago when I came here and I compared it to Kensington because, we get compared a lot to Kensington. They call Kensington, Philadelphia like a baby Skid Row. But it's two different worlds. One thing that I thought was leveled up here, we're passing 6th Street, let's pass 6, was that they got tents. In Philly, we don't got these gigantic tents. I don't even think the city would allow these tents to be built the way they're built here and taking up whole sidewalk real estate space. But not only do they have the large tents over here, but they got generators. Bro, you can have a television set. Look, you got a beautiful blue-nosed pit bull on my left coming out the tent with them. You can have a television. You can have a PlayStation. I mean, I don't know how long your television, your PlayStation going to last outside without any locked doors or anything, unless you guarding your tent all day, every day. But let's just say, bro, look at, they got, on my left, they had a fool, like, I swear, he had like a 40-foot tent. We just passed a 40-foot tent. Is he renting out like little sidewalk equity space? Like, look at you get that little 3 by 6 feet for $40 a month. Like, you know what I mean? Or like something like, I don't know, bro. Bro, they had generators. That's all I'm saying. I saw 5,000, 6,000 watt generators. That's enough to power up a house. We're on Stanford. Let's make this right on Stanford. Yeah, keep in mind, they got to gas that up every day. They got to trust that their generator's not going to be taken away unless they chain it up to the fence next to their tent. You know what I mean? Look, there's some of these lone tents over here. These are people who, I guess, prefer to be away from the crowd, away from the bunch. But as you can see, they're actual camping tents. All right, we're back at 6 in Stanford. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to allow this gentleman to cross the street. Give him the right of way. He's old enough to be my grandpa. We got a Class A RV over here on my left-hand side. A nice vintage Volkswagen Beetle on my left-hand side, as well as a classic car behind that, and as well as the Acura Integra behind that. Automotive overload. Tents on my right. Passing Yamasa Enterprises, Ono Fish Cake, importer of Hawaiian foods. Let's make this left-hand turn. We're back on 5th Street. Remember, 5th Street is where the bulk of the tents are at. I'm going to make this left-hand turn. And then we're going to cut down the side block. We went straight down 5th. Let's cut downtown. A needle box on my right. So they're placing them strategically in the neighborhood. So that means that there probably is an opioid crisis over here. It just don't look like it. It doesn't look like what they're on in Philly. Like, the fentanyl be having them dipping. It don't look like that here. The fentanyl on that trank. Look at that tent on my right. Look how much space it takes up on the sidewalk. All right, we're passing 6. Got tents on my right. I'm gonna try to slow down some. So Skid Row only spans a couple blocks. It spans from 3rd Street to 7th Street. That's what it spans, width-wise. We had a female sitting on a cardboard box on my right-hand side. She was just sitting there, I guess, gathering her thoughts. We're on 7th Street, which is the borderline. I'm going to make a right-hand turn on 7th Street. Is this possible? Yes, it's a two-way street. Beautiful. Let's make this right-hand turn. And again, more tents on my right-hand side. They're fixing their tent right there. He's tying it up to a tree. He was tying the tent up to a tree. I guess he was trying to find a point to reinforce it. Mercedes, Toyota, Isuzu, Cadillac, Nissan, Hyundai. Now I'm wondering, right? Are these people that are homeless who own a car and who are just coming and pitching a tent here on Skid Row and living here and living from their car? Or are these cars to the buildings that they're living in front of? The cars have no relation to the actual people living out here. Alright, we're at 6th Street, the 600 block of 6th Street. I'm going to go straight, take it up another block. Be careful. There's somebody sweeping on my right, you see? There's always somebody sweeping. I'll tell you that much. No shortage of a broom in this area. Five breads and two fish, Oaks of the Righteous Ministry. 5 breads and 2 fish. What a name. Must have some type of religious connection to it. You got just random people just walking into the street like if they got bumpers built into them. Look at, they just randomly just walking right into the street like, whatever. The car is only 8 feet long anyway. It ain't gonna hurt. Like, yo. You don't want to end up in heaven because you got hit by a smart car. You ain't gonna get no street cred. You're like, what you in here for? What you end up in heaven for, bro? Oh, I got hit by a smart car. I was crossing the street. He was traveling a whole 17 miles an hour. I just walked right into the street and boom, I'm here. Let's make this left on San Pedro. Remember we were here earlier? You remember we went straight. You see how much darker it's got since then? They're playing music on my left. They're playing Nelly. Flow, what you asking for? I feel like busting loose and I feel like you. Oh, yeah. Oh, body turn. Oh, remember that? Oh, remember that? It's getting hot in here. Remember that? Nelly, they had Nelly push a lot of stuff. He was pushing the grills. No, Pow Wow was pushing the grills, right? Pow Wow, Mike Jones. They had Nelly pushing the Air Force Ones. Remember the Air Force Ones? When he came up with the Air Force One music video, everybody had to have a pair of Air Force Ones. Yo, so it's deep out here. Look at this. People all along my right. People all along my left. It's just to the point where it's so dark you can't really make out what's happening. I'm on the extreme wide angle lens. I don't know if you guys noticed at the beginning of the video, I kind of started off at the close lens and I had to like zoom out because I like to shoot in a wide lens. The wide lens helps avoid there being shaky footage. It basically lessens the vibrations. I'm gonna make this left on 6th Street and I think I'll take it a little tighter. You see how it's a lot tighter image? You see less. You don't have as wide of a field of view, but it helps it a little bit with the low light situation. I think I'm gonna make this left hand turn here before we come to our wrap up. We're at 6th and San Pedro. And the thing that doesn't help is that the streets are really bumpy. So as you'll see, once I make a left and I'm on a tighter shot, it's gonna get a lot bumpier. The image isn't gonna be as stable. Yeah, they got generators on, bro. They got generators. Yo, they above and beyond out here, bro. Yo, my one guy had like a little kiosk set up right out front of his tent. He had sneakers, he had shoes. He was selling stuff right out front of his tent. He hustling, bro. Look, you ain't got a house, you ain't got bills, but you got to pay that gas for that generator so you can watch, Tune 215 on YouTube. Say, no, that'd be crazy if somebody from Skid Row watching me on YouTube. They're like, yo, dog, I be watching your videos. I live on Skid Row. You pass my tent. I'm like, yo, for real? Word, my bad. All right, let's make this, all right, let's merge right. Passing Gladys Ave. tints all along my right hand side. But you notice how the vibration, you see what I'm talking about? And then when I pull it out wider, it's a lot stabler shot, but you don't see as much detail. Let's merge right, so we can make this right hand turn. Reyes Wholesale Produce. Fruit, vegetable, Latin produce on my right hand side. Wow, they say Latin produce. I wonder what they mean by that. I guess like quenepas, mangoes, things that you get from like Latin America. Passing Industrial Street. We still got tents over here on my left hand side. But I'm sorry, the image isn't as crisp and sharp as it was. That's why I try to catch it right before sundown. If you haven't checked out my other Skid Row tours, check them out. I have walking tours in Skid Row and driving tours. If you haven't experienced my 360 virtual reality walking tour through Skid Row, make sure to check it out. It's 360 video. Got a nice shot of downtown. He just kicked a box of cigarettes to the street. Look at tints on my right, tints on my right. If the street's smooth, I could probably make it a tighter shot like this. As long as the street's not bumpy, I can keep it a tighter shot. The second the street gets bumpy, then the shot gets really like ugly looking. Passing Stanford. Here you go. It's gonna get bumpy. Watch. Yeah, rough. Passing Town. More tents on my right hand side. Try to slow down. Yo, this is crazy. It spans a lot of blocks. A lot of blocks. And this isn't something that's in the outskirts of the corner of the city where nobody knows about, where it's like a little neighborhood kept secret. This is next to downtown, fashion district, toy district, Tokyo, little Tokyo. It's by all of the like the main. Look, come on, look right in front of us. You got the downtown skyline right in front of us. So it's not like it's something unknown. This is something that it's a consensus. Everybody knows. It's an agreement. It's like these people got themselves here. Let them get themselves out. That's what it appears to be. Fashion district. We got signs right in front of us that read fashion district, but we still got tents on our left across the street. Look at all across the street. Tents, 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 tents. We're passing San Julian. All right, we're approaching Wall. This would be Wall Street, 7th and Wall. Look at tents all along my left-hand side in the fashion district. Look on my left-hand side. The fashion district got tents. That goes to show you, no district's safe over here in LA. You go to Hollywood, and Hollywood there's tents and all that stuff everywhere. It's crazy. But at the end of the day, you always gotta remember these are real people. These are mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, somebody's grandchild, somebody's sibling. They're humans. They have a heart too.